have noticed, I was talking about before the break, that once I had built some wealth and had an emergency fund, that I have fewer emergencies. It just seems like, too, that there's some kind of a correlation between getting your financial act together and just getting your act together. Growing up, being smart around all. It's just like when I stop doing stupid stuff with money, I stop doing as much stupid stuff in general. Does that make sense? And so I really have, as soon as we got an emergency fund, I remember the first time we got our emergency fund at $10,000 after we went broke and started completely over. And, we had little kids in the house. They're wearing consignment sale clothes, and we're scratching and clawing. Sharon's couponing. And we finally get that first time we get to a $10,000 emergency fund. I'd never had $10,000 cash in the bank to not touch for any reason ever. I never had an emergency fund. I always lived just hand to mouth. When I got that emergency fund in place, there was like something relaxed in Sharon. Something relaxed in me. And we were set in a completely different place then. And we really did stop having emergencies. Now, some of it, again, was because we had nicer things. We were starting, not by then, we didn't have nicer things, but we were starting to get a little bit better this or better that. And you don't wait until the brakes are, completely grind through the rotor before you get the brake job. You get the brake job done as soon as you hear the first little sign that there's bad brakes. And so the brake job costs you less. You don't wait until the tire blows out before you get new tires. And so it costs you less. You don't destroy the rim when you blow the tire. Instead, you're looking at, we got to get new tires, and we've actually got money for tires. And so you get tires. And by the way, if you got decent tires, you have fewer wrecks, and there's less wear and tear on the car, and it rides better, and all these other things. All this stuff starts to work together, and we started having fewer emergencies. It was like it felt like that because we got an emergency fund, like Murphy went and bothered somebody else. There was this switch that flipped. We have never really had a big enough emergency in the last 30 years to get into the emergency fund. Now, we've had some emergencies, but we just cash flowed them. We had a heat and air go out, and it was $3,500 in the old house, and we just wrote a check. I remember doing that. It was weird. But I didn't even have to touch the emergency fund. It's like we had an emergency fund for the emergency fund. And that same little account, with money added to it, of course, over the years, is still just sitting there. It's never really been touched. And part of that was we started making more money. Part of that was we started having better stuff and not having to do the repairs, like I said earlier. Part of it was, though, there's something that happens in your life that when you get your act together with your money, you just get your act together. And you just stop doing and living in such a way that you invite crazy crap into your brain and into your life, this intersection into what's going on. It's just crazy.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.